Meanwhile, Diesel was back on. Meanwhile, again, Diesel was back on the rails too. So he and James had to look after Neville, while Toby was still selling some. Was still taking the new lamps for Neville. For Neville, what he wants to be keen on, while the Flat Controller was telling Mighty Mac about the lamps. "No then," said the Flat Controller. "I want you to find a new lamp for Neville," he said. "His old one is broken, so you must go." "Yes, sir," said Mighty Mac, and they chuffed away. "I heard that Neville's not well," said Rosie. "I know, what a poor lad," said Mighty Mac, but they were looking forward for him to being well again. They found Toby, and then they had new lamps, and then he gave Mighty Mac the new lamps for Neville. "Thank you, Toby." "You're welcome at all," said Toby, and trundled away. Diesel the diesel engine and James the red engine could see that Mighty Mac was still with Neville. They were excited. "I used to be a really useful engine," said Neville. "Don't worry," said Mighty Mac. "Soon you'll have a new coat of paint and some new lamps, and then you'll feel much better again." "I'm glad you think so, Mighty Mac," said Neville sadly, and then Mighty Mac chuffed away. They felt sorry for Neville, and they did. At last the day came. The Fat Controller was still looking after his really useful engine. "We'll soon have you back on the rails again, Neville," he said. "Oh, I'm really looking forward to be well again, sir," said Neville sadly, as Thomas shunted him inside. The mechanics mended his wrecked cylinders, wheels and side rods, and they gave him new lamps, new whistle, and new buffers and new hooks, and finally they gave him a new coat of paint. At last, Neville was as good as new. As he chuffed out of the work, he felt better, and he could finally move with his wheels. "Hello, Neville," said Thomas. "Feeling better?" "Yes, I am," said Neville, and James, however, was cross. "Well then, hurry up with all this work," said James. "We need you." But I'm still not ready," said Neville, and he wasn't at all.